problems. So I want you to sit there and think about this for a second, everybody. What are the 3 things that clients need to know in order to work with you? So what are the 3 things that clients need to know in order to work with me, you, whatever? Sit down and write this. Figure out what this is. What are the 3 things that they need to know? And then on the other side is, what are the 3 things that I, as the creative, need to know in order to work with them? All right? Does that make sense? So within the Pro Group, we sat down together as a team, as a group of 48 people, and we started writing down different ideas. And I'm going to give you just another second to kind of think about this. And this is how clear it needs to be. What are those things? So let's pretend like we're all working together in the Pro Group and we would ideate. So it looks something like this. Well, the clients need to know price. How much? Can I afford you? Are you within the price point in which I can afford? Experience. Do you have enough of what it is that I'm looking for? Do you do architectural branding? Do you do technology branding? Do you have that kind of look in your portfolio, like of illustration or a graphic flat look? Whatever it is that they think they need, do you have that? Of course, timeline. How long will it take you to do what they need? I've seen your portfolio. It's great. I only have 2 weeks. Oh, you could do it in 7 days? Fantastic. Maybe we can make this work. Your body of work, your portfolio. Most people think that's all that matters. It does matter, but it's not the only criteria. And soon you'll find out which ones are the most important. Okay? So generally speaking, when I hire a creative, I look for somebody that fits my needs, the style or the experience, whatever it is. They might need to know capabilities. What else can you do? Is there more that you can offer me? Do you do social media strategy? Are you a one-stop shop for my creative needs? They need to know if they can trust you. And that's a big one. That seems obvious, but not everybody's focused on that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Do you provide enough social proof? Are there testimonials? Are you well rated? Are you a Better Business Bureau recommend or whatever, JD Power and Associates best in class kind of thing? They want social proof. They want to know if other more famous, more successful people have worked with you and what they have to say. They need to make sure that they're minimizing the risk, because if they hire you, especially when we're getting into the 3rd and 4th tier of projects where it's a much bigger project, where someone can literally lose their job by picking the wrong vendor, they need to minimize their risk and their exposure, okay? Maybe they want to know more about your process. Again, more relevant in the upper tiers, less relevant in the lower tiers. And they're unclear how this works. So you can explain it to them. It's better if you explain it on your website. And even better if you explain it through animation or video so that they don't have to ask that question when they talk to you, because it's very clear how you do what you do. And last but not least, they'll like you. Can I envision working with you in the next couple of weeks or over the next few months? And this becomes an issue of personality. This is about building rapport. And then I asked the group, what do you think the top 3 things are that the clients need to know in order to make a decision to work with you? And here's what they said. And what I asked them to think about is, imagine if this were Family Feud and we polled 100 designers and we asked them, what are the number 1 answers? What would they say? And here's what they came up with. Price, trust, and like.
So these are the 3 things that when a client is on a call with you or in a meeting with you, these are the 3 things in their head that they need to get out of that meeting, because they're vetting potential candidates or clients. And these are the 3 most important things that they feel that they need.
Yes. And then they need to know other things, but we want to prioritize, because when we try to do everything, we do nothing. So it's good to focus on 3 things. Price, trust, and do I like you? Now, when I asked you, if you're watching this, was that the answer you wrote down? Have you ever even thought about what your clients need to know? And how long have you been in business where you have not thought about this before? And this could be a game changer for some of you, to actually look at it from the other point of view, to be on the other side of the conversation, to say, is this the person I really want to work with? Do I like this person? You know, they're saying some shady things. When I asked them about price, they were kind of like dancing on ice, and it was just really hard to pin them down. Or when I asked for a simple answer and they gave me a super complicated answer, I start to envision like, oh my God, is the entire relationship going to be like this? I'm not sure I want to work with this person. When you start to understand how the other person on the line makes a decision, it can change your game. Okay, now let's try to do the other side of this, which is, what are the 3 things that you need to know? Now, there's a good chance you know these things because you should be thinking about them, but let's make it super clear. So let's dive into it, right? Where's my deck? Hello. Here we go. So the one thing that you're going to need to know right away is budget. Can they afford me? Because they come calling, and so many of you guys will tweet at me, Chris, they wanted a full branding thing, and then they told me they had $400. LOL. Well, we need to know that right away. The sooner the better, because we're wasting everybody's time if we don't get to the budget. The goals. What is it that they want to achieve by doing this thing? That's a higher level kind of question. Again, if you're in the upper echelon, I would start to think about that. We need to know what their ambition and challenges are. We want to know what the scope and the timeline is, because yes, they can afford me. I understand everything. But if they need something done in a timeline that I cannot deliver on in terms of the quality of work that I can do, then that's not going to work. So if you know that up front, you can say, I can get this done. I can do a great job for you. But instead of taking 2 weeks, it's going to take 4 weeks. If you're willing to go through the process with me, I can deliver something great. Is that something you can do or no? If they say no before you say goodbye, you probably should say something like, okay, given that that you don't have more time, the only other way I can take this on is to bring on more people and to work longer hours at night. Can you afford more money? So there's some kind of triangle where all this stuff makes sense between the budget, the goals, and the schedule. Okay, let's keep going. Are you the decision maker? These are answers that the pro group came up with. They want to know if they're the decision maker. Do I like them? I mean, they like me, but like say you're a vegan and there's a kind of Pepperidge Farm meat package product that you just don't want to work on. Well, for professional reasons, for personal reasons, this is not a good fit for me and my company at this time. There's people that I know who can do a great job for you. I'm going to recommend them to you, and I wish you the very best. Okay? And you can explain to them, I'm a vegan and I've been vegan for 10 years and I just can't in good conscience take this on. You deserve somebody who loves your product as much as you do. Going to be fair, open, and honest, and non-judging. Okay? Something else that they said, I need to know what their pain points are. Oh, previous vendor didn't deliver on time or was unresponsive or non-responsive, meaning it took them too long to respond to requests. Their process wasn't transparent. They were too opaque. They had a conversation with us and they disappeared for 4 weeks and they gave us something. And though it was good, it was not what we were expecting. It's not what we wanted. Sound familiar? Okay. Those are the pain points. Are they engaged in the conversation? Does it seem like they're busy texting somebody while talking to you? Are their eyes glossed over? You know, they have that glazed look. They're not engaged. Probably not a good fit for you. Can I solve their problem? I love everything that they do and what they want, but I just don't have it within my wheelhouse. So maybe this is not a good fit for me. Okay? And there's different ways of responding to that too. What are they afraid of? How does this go wrong? And you can ask them that. What keeps you up at night? Those are good questions to ask your client. And lastly, I too need to build rapport with them. Okay? I need to build rapport with them. All right. So when we ask everybody, I jumped the gun there. Nah, I can't believe I did that. Sorry, guys. Okay, forget that I did that.
So Chris is just using this. These are the top things that people came up with in the pro group of the things that they need as vendors to get out of their calls with their clients. So then we prioritize what are the top 3 things that we think that we need to get out of that call.
Right. And so I'm going to give you guys a second. Take a look at this list and see, did this match your list? Is there something else here that we forgot? And if we did, go ahead and put it in the comments below. Okay? And then now I'm going to prioritize this list, and I asked the group, what were the top 3 things that bubbled up? Well, here we go. Budget, scope and timeline, and can I solve their problem? All right. Now, it didn't take a rocket scientist, no genius here, but you notice they're uncannily similar. Uncannily similar between these two. Okay? Well, price and budget, that's kind of the same. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in a second. So I want to ask you guys, do we have shared goals between the clients and ourselves in terms of what we want to accomplish on that first call together? So looking back at this list, well, let's try to make some connections here. We can do this. Look at that. Okay.
So client wants to know how much it's going to cost, and you want to know, do they have enough budget for me?
Right. And ask yourself this question right now. How often have I gotten on a call and I was afraid to talk about the budget? Or when the clients asked me about the budget, I hemmed and hawed and I was like unsure and I went through a lengthy explanation. Did that help me to build trust? Did that help me to create rapport? Will this client like me because I'm so awkwardly uncomfortable talking about money? So it's actually professional for you not to talk about money. And this is going to be like a brain meltdown for some of you, because you thought like, oh, I just want to talk about the art and the design. And I thought talking about the money is really crass and rude, and it devalues my work as a creative human and a spirit in the world. Actually, what's happening here is you're creating the sense within the client's mind that you don't know how to run a business, that you're uncomfortable talking about business.